Someone beat Christine Morton to death in her own bed. Her 3-year-old son was in the house when it happened. I'm Adam, the voice behind Verdict Flipped. I'm not real. I'm a synthetic voice. The script I read every week is written with AI. The images you see are generated with AI. The thumbnails too. Everything you watch on this channel passes through an AI tool at some point. That doesn't mean there is no human work behind this channel. Nor does it mean that anyone could do this in 5 minutes with a prompt. So the producer of this channel decided to show you exactly what it takes. Not to defend AI, not to convince you of anything, just to show you what's underneath. He believes it's only fair that you know. This is how a Verdict Flipped episode gets made, from empty page to published video. A Verdict Flipped episode takes around 28 hours of work, spread across 4 days. That's the number that matters. Not how many AI tools are used. How many hours of human decision-making are involved? AI doesn't replace the work. It replaces specific tasks within the work. Choosing what matters, deciding what to leave out, verifying what's true, deciding how to tell it. That's not automated. That's the entire job. What you're about to see is the actual workflow used to produce one episode of this channel. The Michael Morton case. Texas, 1986. A man convicted of murdering his wife, who served 25 years in prison before DNA proved his innocence. The prosecutor who hid the evidence became a judge, and he paid for what he did. That episode took 28 hours. Here's where those hours go. Every episode starts with one decision. Which case? Most channels in this niche cover whatever case is trending. That's not how this works. The producer maintains an active list of candidate cases. Cases with search demand, cases with documented institutional failure, cases where the public narrative is incomplete. For this episode, 5 cases were on the table. All 5 fit the editorial filter of this channel, a mechanism that worked against an individual in a way the public doesn't fully understand. Morton got picked for a specific reason. The arc is unusually complete. Conviction, 25 years lost, DNA exoneration, and then, almost never seen in this kind of case, the prosecutor faced real legal consequences. He was convicted of contempt. He lost his law license. He resigned as a judge. That ending is rare. Most stories on this channel end with the system failing without consequence. Morton ends with something closer to justice, and that contrast is editorially valuable. Case selected, 2 hours in. This is where most people assume AI does the work. Open a chatbot, ask about Michael Morton, copy what it says. That's not what happens here. The research phase uses 3 different AI systems, querying the same case in 3 different ways: Claude, Gemini, NotebookLM. Each one has different strengths. None of them is trusted in isolation. Gemini gets a 6-block prompt designed for open web search. It searches court records, the Innocence Project, Texas Monthly, the New York Times. It flags discrepancies between sources when it finds them. NotebookLM gets a different prompt, one designed for working over a corpus of primary documents: the original ruling, Court of Inquiry transcripts, Pamela Koloff's reporting from Texas Monthly. NotebookLM doesn't search the web. It works over the documents you give it, and it cites each fact back to a specific document. That traceability is the point. Claude gets a 3rd prompt, one designed for chronological depth, linear temporal order, citable statements from court transcripts, legal terminology precision. When Claude is not certain about a fact, it flags it explicitly. 3 different methods, 3 different outputs. And then comes the part that matters. The producer cross-references the 3. Facts that appear in all 3 go into the script. Facts that appear in 2 get verified against a primary source. Facts that appear in only 1 get verified or discarded. This is the actual work, not asking the AI, verifying what the AI says, choosing what to trust. In this specific case, the cross-reference caught 2 things. One date that 2 sources had wrong. One claim about the prosecutor's conduct that one source overstated. Both got corrected before reaching the script. This phase takes around 6 hours. 8 hours in. The script doesn't get written from scratch. It gets written against a framework. This channel runs on a documented production system. Versioned. Updated when retention data reveals a structural problem. Every script follows the same 7-section structure with target retention metrics for each section. Once the research is verified, the script gets written in collaboration with Claude inside the project. The producer provides the research and the editorial angle. Claude proposes a draft. Then the producer rewrites. This is the step most people miss. Claude's first draft is never the script. It's a starting point. Phrases get cut. Sentences get reordered. The editorial voice of the channel, controlled, restrained, anger contained in the facts rather than the delivery, is not something the AI produces by default. It's something the producer enforces, line by line. For the Morton episode, the first draft was around 1,700 words. The final script was 1,400. 300 words cut, 22 sentences rewritten. 4 factual additions from primary sources that none of the 3 research outputs had included. Total time on script and verification, around 8 hours. 16 hours in, this is the part the producer built from scratch. B-Roll Brain is a custom application, built by the producer specifically for this channel. It connects 2 APIs. Gemini reads the script, identifies every B-roll note, and converts each note into a precise image description. Then FAL.ai generates each image, routing different scene types to different models. Graphics use one model, cinematic shots use another. For the Morton episode, the script generates around 110 scenes. The application processes them in batch. Each scene gets generated, downloaded, and packaged into a zip file ready for editing. This step alone, before the custom application existed, took the producer around 8 hours per episode, writing each prompt manually, generating each image manually, downloading and renaming manually. With the application, it takes 40 minutes. The application doesn't replace the work. The producer wrote every prompt template, designed the routing logic, tested the model selection, but it removes the manual labor that didn't require judgment. The same script generates the voice, this voice, Adam, through 11 labs. Same voice every week. Consistency of audio brand. Then editing in CapCut. Subtitles synchronized to audio. Images aligned to narration. Sound effects at retention peaks. The application flags which scenes need sound design based on the script structure. Total production time, around 8 hours. 24 hours in, the last 4 hours. Thumbnail design in FAL.ai. SEO package, 3 title options, description with sources, tags, chapters, pinned comment. Upload configuration, publication scheduling. 28 hours total, from empty document to published episode. And that's the video you watched at the beginning of this one. This is an AI-assisted channel. It's declared in the description of every video. It's marked in YouTube's content disclosure. There's nothing hidden, but assisted is the word. The case selection was human. The editorial angle was human. The verification of every fact was human work. The framework is maintained by a human. The application that generates the images was built by a human. What AI does on this channel is execute tasks. What the producer does is decide what's worth executing. The next time someone tells you AI channels have no work behind them, you'll know what 28 hours of work actually looks like. The Morton episode is linked below. The next case is already in research. This is Adam. This is Verdict Flipped.